Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. No doubt that this will end up on YouTube, so welcome to the YouTube channel or the Patreon, wherever you're watching this from. And it's time for the next episode of On the Buses because, you know, I realise it's been a long time since I last did an episode of On the Buses. It was, in fact, the 7th of March, so it's been a little while since episode 7. It was a good episode, that, though. Sid from Mind Your Language was in it, and as I said in the title, he's a cheating, conniving in this too. Yeah, so, yeah, it was so funny, that episode, that I loved it. And I can't wait to see what happens in this one. It's called Radio Control. Yeah, no idea what... I mean... It's really old, this, you know, it's late 60s, early 70s, so the only idea that I can think of, I don't think was technologically possible at the time, because the idea that I'd have, usually if it was a bit more modern, is that the bus company was going to implement like a radio control system for the first time ever, you know, so someone at base has a radio, and all the buses have radios in the driver's cabin, and then they send out instructions to their drivers, a bit like taxi drivers, you know, they have a control centre, and then, you know, when you're in a taxi, you can hear them talking to someone back at the, you know, the rank. That's the only thing I can think of, but in 1970, whatever this is, 1971, was that possible? I mean, they had two-way radios back then, surely. But did they have the range on them for buses? I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, looking forward to getting into this. Looking forward to hearing what Arthur has to say to Olive and how he's going to roast her. It's one of the main things I look forward to in this show now. Honestly, every episode I just can't wait to see how he's going to burn her. Yeah, let's get into it. So if you're watching on YouTube, then that's great. Like and subscribe, but remember that this is an early access series, so it'll end up on Patreon before it gets onto YouTube, so you can get it quicker on YouTube, and it's available in the cheapest tier, which is $1 a month, including the cheap Super 6 as well, which is 6 series available in the $1 a month tier. That includes Not Going Out, My Family, Benidorm, Blackadder, Bad Education, and something else, but I can't remember which. Come here, you. Come here. Oh, ignore me then. Yeah, so there's that. But anyway, let's get into this. But please consider joining the Patreon. And there's a special offer on until the 31st of March. 80% off your first month. So if you were to join before that point, you can save a bit on your first month before you start paying the full price, which even then is ridiculously cheap. If you went for the $1 tier, or the $2 a month tier, or the $3 a month tier, or the $4, even the $6.19 a month tier, that's still, that's about £4 a month, and you're getting all the great content. Yeah, it's cheapest in the reaction community, that's guaranteed. No reactor offers their content as cheaply as I do, or as much content for as low price as I do. You can guarantee that, because I've checked. I've been on every Patreon of every reactor I could possibly find. Well, obviously not every reactor, but all the main ones, and I beat them all in value for money. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go.
Let's have it. What is it all about? We want to get home, mate.
If you'll all keep quiet for a moment, I'll explain.
Well, it's all well up there. Silence. The Führer wants to speak.
Führer.
Let's have a bit of respect, shall we?
Well, Hitler won't mind. He's dead.
Twit.
Twit.
The company have decided to remove the basic causes of delays on the buses.
Marvellous. We're not going to carry any more passengers.
The basic causes of delays on the buses.
Marvellous. We're not going to carry any more passengers.
No, I tell you what, they're going to get rid of him.
Twit.
Twit.
The company, in their infinite wisdom,
That's all you
have
got to
decided that each bus will have two-way radio installed in its cab.
Well, what's that got to do with us?
I was bang on. Two-way radio installed in the cab. I didn't think it'd be possible this far back, but there you go. I was right. Oh, well, that's cheered me up.
That each bus will have two-way radio
How about that?
installed in its cab.
Well, what's that got to do with us conductors then?
Well, if anything happens to the driver, the conductor will still be there to get through to the base, won't he?
Ah, yeah.
Right. And the first bus to have one installed
It
will
stands.
be your number 11, the bus to the cemetery gates.
Well, why pick on us then?
Because a time and motion survey has shown it to be the slowest and most unpunctual in the old town, that's why.
Blimey, mate, you should see the traffic from the High Street to the cemetery gates. It's packed, mate.
That's got nothing to do with it. The survey shows that the hearses are getting there before you.
Blimey, mate, they don't have to stop to pick up passengers.
Well, only one, and he couldn't care less where he's going.
I was literally about to say
Listen to
something
this, will
similar.
you? Each bus will be fitted with a two-way radio receiver like this. Thank you, Miss Woodall. Now then, there will be a central control in my office there, manned by Miss Woodall, who will serve directly under me.
What?
Now, this is the basic two-way receiver. You
Right.
have to learn the controls. That is the on position, that is the off. That's known as the on-off button, right?
I'm glad you told us that, otherwise we wouldn't have known.
Now then, when you hear me call, you will acknowledge by lifting up the microphone here and pressing the button on the left there like that. So, right? Now, before you can use this apparatus, you have to learn a code to identify yourself.
Well, what code's that then?
Just a moment, Miss Woodall, thank you. Now then, this code here is used to avoid any confusion whatsoever over the air. A for Abel, B for Bertie, C for Charlie.
As far as I'm concerned, C only stands for one thing.
What's that?
Crumpet.
G for Georgie. H for Hotel. I for Idol, that's you two. J for Juliet.
Shut your face. Shut up, your face.
Hotel. I for Idol, that's you two.
Shut your face.
J for Juliet.
J
K
for
for
Juliet, K for Katie,
Oh,
L for
Stan.
love.
You have to go on repeating those words over and over again.
Mind you, I find it a lot more stimulating than his usual conversation.
Well, I don't know why he has to learn them all.
I've told you before, Mum, we're having radio control in the cabs and I've got to learn this code. Oh, for instance, you don't understand it, do you?
No.
If I was referring to Olive, I'd call her Oscar.
Well, I don't think that's very nice. Calling Olive Oscar?
I don't know. I think it suits her rather well.
Look, you haven't got it at all, have you?
No.
Look, her name's Olive and it's spelled O-L-I-V-E, right?
Right.
So, in the code I'd say Oscar, Love, Idol, Victor, Easy.
Eh?
Sounds most appropriate.
Oh, shut up. What would
Oscar Love, Idol, Victor, Easy.
Arthur be?
Do you really want me to tell you?
Stan?
Now, let me see then. A-R-T-H. Now, he would be, Abel, Romeo.
Him? Abel Romeo? That's a laugh for a start.
Yeah, well, it's rather difficult being a Romeo when you happen to be married to a woman who happens to be an Oscar.
Ah, Mum, Stan, love, eat up your stew. It's getting all cold.
Anyway, I think the whole thing is rather childish. Busman's code? I mean, why don't you just learn to speak the message properly?
Because it could easily be misunderstood. I mean, if I had to report a bad fog, I would say, here we are, Thursday, 30 April Delta, ready off my golfy yo-yo.
Romeo! What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Ready off my golfy yo-yo.
Georgia, yo-yo?
And that makes it clear.
What a lot of rot you do talk. I didn't catch a single word of that.
What a lot of
shut
rock
up.
you do talk.
Well, let me get on with it. Here we are. Now then, R for Romeo, S for sugar, T for, I can't see that here. What's
T for tomato.
Tomato?
Tomato. Can't remember tomato, innit?
Tomato ketchup, mate. You also got a bit of G for gravy and S for stew.
Yeah, well, what does all that mean then?
He's a messy eater.
Shut your face. Oh, a minute.
Try on me.
It's T for tango, that's it. I knew it one tomato. T for tango. Now, I'm going to practice on you now, Mum.
I know, love,
Now,
I'm
I'm going to
ready.
ask for...
Yeah,
Mum,
yeah.
would you mind passing me the Romeo Oscar Love Loves?
Hey?
You ain't got it, see?
No.
Have you?
No.
Romeo Oscar Love Loves. That's the rolls.
Oh, well, I don't think that's decent. I'm not going into Baker's asking for that. Anyway, I don't see what difference this is going to make to the bus service.
Well, they couldn't be much worse than they are now. I mean, you stand there for an hour in a queue, then you get a dozen buses all following one behind the other.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that, mate, and it's very technical.
Hey, what's that?
Well, the bloke in front's the only one who knows the way.
You may laugh, mate. You may laugh. I mean, you're the driver, you always get a seat, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're crammed in there in the rush hour, you're stacked together like cattle.
Oh, yes, he's right, love. Packed like sardines, it's not decent. Well, only the other day a man tried to pinch me.
Hey? You should have gone for him, Mark.
Oh, I did. He said he was fumbling for his change. Wasn't his change he was fumbling for?
Did he get hold of a couple of threepenny bits, did he?
That's quite right. There was a man on the number 9 bus. He kept touching me. He was after me, all right. I had witnesses.
You should have reported him. He could have got 3 months.
Well, for being after her, he'd have been found guilty but insane.
You should have complained to the conductor.
But he was a real nasty type. He put his hand down on the seat just...
I'm sorry. I'm just... Honestly, in this show, one of the best things is Arthur. And the way he talks to her. Oh, God. He basically just said that no one would even want to... You know... And that's his wife he's talking about. Oh, God. Whoever made the decision in this show that Arthur would be an absolute arsehole to her and talk to her like that made one of the best decisions for this show that anyone could have made, because it's always just absolutely hilarious. I love it.
Guilty but insane.
You should have complained to the conductor.
But he was a real nasty type. He put his hand down on the seat just as I was about to sit down, and I sat down on it. It was a terrible shock.
I bet it was. Must have broken his wrist.
Start on each other. Leave your brother alone.
Yeah, pick on someone your own size.
Oh, shut up, a lot of you. Let me learn this, will you? Right.
By the way, anybody who eats fruit shortcakes, these are from Aldi and there's no sugar on them. And it's the same with their niece biscuits. What is it with Aldi and not putting sugar on biscuits that are supposed to have sugar on them? I'm not happy about that.
F for Freddy, G for Georgie, H for hospital, blimey,
Fruit shortcakes should have sugar on them. Who agrees? And niece, definitely niece. A niece isn't a niece biscuit without sugar on it. They've got to have sugar on them. You know, not a lot, just a little sprinkling. You know, it's only a tiny bit, but it makes all the difference.
G for Georgie, H for hospital, blimey, mate. What?
I don't know why you bother. I mean, why don't you learn yourself to speak properly?
My Stan speaks lovely.
Oh, don't talk wet. Your voice types you, mate. In this country, you can tell what a man is immediately he opens his mouth.
Oh, can you? Here, well, just a minute now. What about that lovely poem you recited at school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wreck of the Hesperus.
My dear man, that word is Hesperus. I mean, how are you going to be understood over the radio if you continue to drop your H's?
You're a snob. That's what you are. I can speak proper if I want to.
All right.
Go on then.
Repeat after me. Hunting hounds have hardly ever hearkened to handsome Harold's hunting horn.
It's a piece of cake, mate.
Oh, go on then, go on.
Hunting hounds have hardly ever hearkened to handsome Harold's hunting horn. How about that then?
There you are.
There isn't a
You
H
dropped
in
an
ever.
H on hardly.
But he picked it up on heather.
Oh, you shut up now. But whether you lot like it or not, I've got to learn this code, so felt up. A for Abel, B for Bertie, D for Joker, F for Oscar.
I bloody love this show.
Hunting hounds have hardly ever hearkened to handsome Harold's hunting horn. Hunting hounds have hardly ever hearkened to handsome Harold's hunting horn.
He's gonna think he's lost the bloody place.
Handsome Harold's hunting horn.
Oi,
Who the hell's Handsome Harold?
No, I'm just brushing up on the code, mate. You know, we've got to get it right for our first radio trip, haven't we? Ah, it's a blooming nuisance, isn't it?
Ah, it's not, you know. We got company.
Have we? Who?
Yeah, Joyce and Edna, they're coming with us. Sort of training. They're thinking of issuing them with new equipment.
Well, I don't see why. Their old equipment looks good enough to me.
Here's 10. When we turn around at the cemetery gates, we'll have them to ourselves for 20 minutes. Hello, darling. Welcome aboard to number 11 minus 10.
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
Get aboard. I'll tell them we're leaving. Hurry up.
Here, mate, get your hand off that radio. The way you're acting, you'll probably blow a fuse.
Hello, Control here, calling Sugar Bertie 11. Are you receiving me? This is the final check before leaving. Over.
Hey, who's Sugar Bertie?
It's me. I'm Sugar Bertie.
Oh, Stan B.
Sugar Bertie. SB stands for Stan Butler. Sugar Bertie, that's me.
Sugar Bertie? Oh, it does suit you, dear. Goes with the dimples.
Sugar Bertie, are you receiving me? Over.
Sugar Bertie to Control. Are ready to leave the depot. Over.
Sugar Bertie 11, why aren't you acknowledging me? Over.
I am acknowledging you. Over.
He's not pressing the button. There's a button on the side. He's not. Fucking hell,
Sugar
Stan.
Bertie 11, why aren't you answering me?
Sugar Bertie 11 here. I'm answering you. Over.
Well, why aren't I receiving you then? Over.
Because you had the door shut. Over. Look. Go back inside and I'll start again.
No, there's no time now. Sugar Bertie 11, you're clear. Over.
Okay, Control. Here, just a minute. Don't go yet. I just found out why it wasn't working.
What's that then?
She weren't pressing
I
the
didn't
button.
have the switch pressed down.
You absolute
Look,
sausage.
I'll show ya. Oi! Oi! Oh, that's it.
Right.
Here, darling.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, dear.
No, thanks, love, not just now.
Right, I'll just get back to Control and tell Blake we've arrived at the cemetery gates. Right.
Here, Stan. Here.
What?
Tell him we won't be here for another 10 minutes.
What are you talking about? We're here.
Yeah, give us more time to chat up the birds, see?
You got your head screwed on Sugar Bertie 11. Sugar Bertie 11 to Control. Over.
Miss Woodall. Thank you. Hello, Control here. Come in, Sugar Bertie. Where are you? What is your position?
We're stuck in the traffic jam at Acker Street, and we won't be at the cemetery gates for another 20 minutes. Over.
Message received, Sugar Bertie. Over. See? The system works. I know exactly where they are. This'll keep me in order. Message received 11:42, Miss Woodall. Right. Hello, Sugar Bertie. Proceed to the cemetery gates. Wait there for 7 minutes. When you are ready to leave, call me back. Over.
Oh, blimey, mate, hey, I tell you. It worked a treat.
Yeah, look, I've been chatting up Joyce, so Edna's all yours. You lucky bee, she fancies you.
Yeah, you sure, though, you
Yeah,
sure?
yeah. Look, you take her off somewhere and I'll get in a bus with my bit.
Run!
No.
Blimey, you've got
You have the bottom deck, I'll have the top deck.
all the bus. This is a cemetery, you know. What am I supposed to do, snog her up against one of the tombstones?
Listen, mate, the inside of the bus is my pitch. You've got the cab.
What can I do inside a cab?
Well, use your imagination. Yeah, well, we've just been on to Blakey. There's no hurry.
Edna, love.
Yeah?
We got another 10 minutes, and I thought, like, you'd come in. I'll show you how to work the radio in the cab, like, if you like.
Yeah, all right then. Coming, Joyce?
You're joking. I think I'll stay here. I'll go inside with Jack.
Go on, love.
Yeah, well, I'll take off my ticket machine then.
You'll have to get inside, love, you see, because I can't show you outside.
Oh, all right then. Give us a hand up.
Right, love. Yeah. Oh, excuse fingers.
Excuse fingers.
I'll have to get inside, darling, because...
I bet you will.
It's a bit...
Give it squeezing in.
Oh, look at that, the door shut behind me.
I've never been in
Really?
a driving seat before.
I've never had a passenger before, telling the truth.
Here, hold on, Stan. You're squashing me.
Yeah, well, I can't help it, darling, because it's only... Oh, look, I tell you what.
Sit on
Put
my
your
knee.
arm round there. See what I mean? More room for us then, you see.
What's that hissing noise?
Well, that's the radio. It's got to be kept on all the time, you see.
Do you mean he can hear everything we're saying?
No. He can get through to us any time he likes, but you see, he can't hear me until I press the switch on the microphone.
Hold on. This is a sitcom. A classic sitcom. A very old sitcom. All modern sitcoms are built on what was at the time, very innovative ideas for gags. Yeah, I can see what's coming. Something's going to happen that's going to mean that button is going to be pressed permanently. And Hitler, he's going to hear every word in that cab, and he's going to be in the shit. Calling it now.
Phone.
Oh, yeah.
Her ass is gonna land on it.
Check to see where that number 11 got
Something's
the
gonna
security
happen that turns that button on, presses that button. It's
Oh,
got
bless
to
this
be
system,
that.
you know, Miss Woodall. I can check on them any time I like. I thought of this, you know. Hello? Control here, calling Sugar Bertie 11. Are you receiving me? Where are you? What is your position? Are you receiving me?
Lovely.
Sugar Bertie 11. Are you there yet? Over.
Not yet, I don't work that fast.
Oh, Stan.
Sugar Bertie.
Are you sure he can't hear us?
Of course he can't, darling. Not until I put the switch down on the microphone. I've got to show you how it works anyway. Look, here we go, look. Now, I've got it like this, you see. Right, that's it. Press the button down like this. Watch now, then. Sugar Bertie 11 to control. Over.
Sugar Bertie 11, control here. Listen, Bertie, you keep in closer contact, you understand? Over.
Yeah, the closer the better. We've arrived at the cemetery gates. Oh, don't. Just a bit of local interference.
That's very fun.
Local interference. That's one word for it. Or one phrase for it.
Just a bit of local interference.
That's very funny. None of the other busmen have had any of that.
You're not having my luck. Over and out. Oh.
Here, are you positive he can't hear?
Oh, how many more times I've got to tell you?
They're making that much of a point of pointing it out. It's got to be what
Darling, of course you
what
can't
I
not
guessed.
until you put the switch down. Now look, sweetheart, we've only got another 7 minutes. Hey, oh, come on. Oh, I'm all for this radio control, you know. Now this
See?
is what I call radio.
What did I say?
Hello? That was Butler's voice. Hello? Are you receiving me?
What's he going to
Are you
hear?
receiving me? Over.
You know, you see, you get lonely in a cab, you know. And you know something? Fancied you, you know. The first time I saw you in the depot, I fancied you, and you got lovely eyes. You have really, and because you're different, you see. Yeah. I bet you've got a lot of boyfriends, ain't you?
He thinks he's talking to him.
He's going mad.
Oh, Stan, keep over talking.
Oh.
Give us another...
Thank God for that. I thought you were going to think he was chatting him up.
He's mad.
Oh, Stan, keep over talking. Give us another kiss.
He's got a woman with him. You take over talking.
Oh, no.
Pick up that bus on the way back.
Come on then, break it up.
He's going to get the bollocking of his life.
Oh, isn't it marvellous, eh? If it wasn't for the passengers, this would be a decent sort of a job. Come on, love.
Here, Stan, can you get any music on that radio of yours?
No, of course you can't.
Oh, yes, you can. A bloke at the depot showed me how to do it. You got a nail file, dog?
Oh,
We
yeah,
can do it.
from
It's quite
where?
easy. All you do is shove it in the back there and take
Hey,
it out of it.
listen, mate, I'm responsible for that,
That's
you know.
all right. Show me how to
Well,
do
don't
it.
mess about.
Delta Tango 14, are you receiving me? Delta Tango 14, are you receiving me? Over.
Hey, that must be one of our blokes on the 14 route.
Tango 14,
Oh my fucking hell! He's hacked the radio signal of a fucking Vickers VC10 or something! Wait, is that... what is that? Is that a VC10? Yeah, well, there's no engines on the wings, so they're on the back. It's definitely not a Hawker Siddeley Trident. Oh, I don't think it's a VC10 either. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait, yeah, it is. It is. It's a VC10. I thought it was. Yeah, there's a picture with the exact same BOAC livery right here. Yep. Brilliant planes, them. You know, back in those days, there was so much variety and, you know, so many different types. Now, they're all the same. They've all got 2 engines, and that's it. 2 engines, or 4 engines if it's a A380 or A340, or is it... Which is the other Airbus with 4 engines? Or is it the A350? Anyway, there's another Airbus with 4 engines. Yeah, it's such a shame now. Especially planes like this, you know, tri-jets and planes that had the engines at the back, like the DC-9s, you know, the CRJ types and the F-100s and the Hawker Siddeley's and the Vickers and DC-10s. And, oh, what was the other one? It was an absolute technological marvel. Lockheed L-10-1100. Jesus Christ. That plane... older than... I don't know what. I think that plane was built before Gary Lineker was born, and it could land itself. Well, it came a few years after Concorde, the L-10-1100, but it could land itself. That's why the DC-10 was built, because of that.
Tango 14.
Anyway, sorry if I get carried away with aviation stuff. It's just, I love aviation and, you know, this era, the early 70s to the late 90s. Just the golden era for me because, you know, as soon as the 21st century hit, all the best, the best era was over. 747s are gone now. I mean, there's a few left, you know. Lufthansa are still flying theirs, and I think there's a couple of American airlines still flying theirs. British Airways have got rid of all theirs now. They've only got their A380s. It just makes me sad, you know. It's become like cars. You know, cars nowadays, they're just appliances, aren't they? They all do the same thing. Everyone wants a big SUV or a crossover. But it doesn't matter which one you get. They all do the same thing. They've all got the same engines and the same power. There's no bond that you can have with them like, you know, you would in early 90s. Just, yeah, it's just a shame. But they are a lot safer now, you know. Plane crashes are so rare now. I mean, look at a few months ago when there was, like, 2 plane crashes or 3 plane crashes within the space of a month. It was worldwide news. It was worldwide breaking news because there'd been 3 plane crashes in a month. Because they're that rare now. So I suppose, you know, you're trading safety. You're trading, yeah. Sorry.
That must be
Sorry for sharing a passion.
one of our blokes on the 14 route.
Tango 14.
Love, he's got his la-di-da voice, hasn't he? Let's see if we can chat with him. Yeah. Sugar Birdie 11 here. Are you receiving me number 14? Over.
Delta Tango 14, we are going to Chicago via London, New York and Boston. Over.
Oh my God.
Sugar Birdie to Tango. If you take my advice, mate, you go to the gasworks via the high street. Otherwise, Blake will be up here.
Tango 14, will you get off my wavelength, please? Otherwise, I report you to Central Control. Over.
Cheeky devil, go on, give him a mouthful.
Yeah. Sugar Tango here. You can go and get Sugar Tango, Uncle Freddy, Easy Delta.
Wait.
Sugar Tango, Uncle Freddy, Easy
You can go get stuffed.
Delta.
Delta Tango 14, what code are you using? Over.
The busman's code, of course. Over.
Delta Tango 14. Delta Tango 14. Where are you? What is your height? What is your height? You better keep clear. What is your height? Over.
5'2" in me sock.
5'2". Delta Tango 14, will you get off my wavelength? I'm coming in for my final approach.
Oh, you fucking bitch slag. Wait, he's on final approach. Oh my God. They've hijacked the frequency of a passenger jet while it's on final approach. That is the worst possible time you can intercept the radio transmission of a passenger plane.
Otherwise, I report you to Central Control. Where are you? What is your height? Delta Tango 14, will you get off my wavelength? I'm coming in for my final approach.
Final approach? Blimey, that's not a bus, that's a plane.
Don't be dark, can't get aeroplanes on here.
Look, he's up there, look, mate. Look.
God, blimey, he is too. God, any low, look at him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Vickers VC-10, yeah. God, beautiful planes. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. So much like the de Havilland Comet, except they just took those kind of engines out of the wings and put them at the back. Don't you think? In terms of shape, it looks a lot like the Comet. A lot safer than the Comet, though. You know, it's a wonder that jet travel ever took off. Because that Comet, you know, I think... How many people died on it in its first month or so of operation? It was bad. You know, the early days were really bad. But obviously, they learned from it. And they fixed it. And, well, the Americans kind of stole our technology then and just ran away with the jet plane game and, yeah.
Hey, look, that's what the Delta
But it was us that started it.
ET on his wings, see?
Right.
Quick, get this back to normal before I get shot.
Okay.
Sugar Birdie 11, are you receiving me? Please acknowledge. Over.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll twiddle it and get her better than that.
Oh, no, you won't, mate. Blimey, first you get aeroplanes, the next you'll have the police, the ambulance, and the lifeboat from Beachy Head. Get going.
Come on, then.
Hang about. I'm going to have a word with your driver. Butler?
What?
What do you mean by sending out them filthy messages over the radio? It's not a tie, you know.
What are you talking about? Yeah. Blimey, I was only joking.
Joking? You said I had nice eyes.
Well, if I said that, mate, I must have been joking.
You also said you fancied me. I'm reporting you for that, Butler. No busman's ever said anything like that to me before.
You must be using the wrong sort of soap.
Control, calling Sugar Birdie 11.
Sugar Birdie 11, over.
There's a burst water main in Market Street. Please divert to avoid hold-up.
Well, did you hear that, Blakey?
You got any passengers on board?
Nah, slang them off at last stop.
Right, turn left into Anthony Street and get a move on.
Hang on. I don't know that district very well. I'm not getting a move on. I'm taking it easy.
Never mind about taking it easy or running late as it is. You get a move on. I'm getting on the back to see you do.
All right, then. That's the way you want it, mate. All right, then. That's it, then.
Why is there no sound of the train?
Jack, you all right, mate? You all right?
Oh, what do you want to go and do that for? God, you nearly killed us.
Blimey, you can talk, mate. I nearly went through the windscreen.
Yeah, well, what about me? I was thrown to the ground.
Oh, blimey, at least you fell on something soft.
Thank you.
Well, anyway, to argue the
something
toss like this. Where's Blakey?
Oh, he's all right. He's upstairs.
Upstairs? Have you seen this? Blakey, you all right?
He's a tall bloke and all. He probably took his head off.
Blimey, Blakey, I've got to be honest. That's the first time I've been glad to see you.
You did it on purpose, didn't you? You tried to kill me.
Don't blame me, mate. It was your idea to go round that way. I mean, this ain't a single-decker bus, you know.
It is now.
I'll get you for this, Butler. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I saw that odds coming at me. I just ducked down in the nick of time. Oh, well, thank God we got a radio on board anyway. Get in that cab. Get back to base, tell them we're marooned out here stuck under a bridge.
It's a good idea, but there's only one thing wrong with that.
What?
Radios don't work under a bridge.
How'd you get on, Stan? What did the manager say?
Well, what could he say? I mean, it was Blakey's idea I went round that way, so I told him it was an act of God.
Well, I see they've taken the radios out of the buses, then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mind
right.
you, the damage, God, blimey, it cost a bit. Cost about 10,000 quid.
Don't be daft, mate. I mean, a whole new bus only cost 3,000.
Oh, I see you haven't got the message, have you? Well, you see, our bus was stuck under that bridge harder than I thought.
Oh, yeah? What do you mean?
Well, when they took the bus away, the bridge fell down.
Oh my God. And we saw a train went. Wow. Mind you, yeah. Blimey. The bridge fell down. Ah, look at old Britain back then in those days. You could just tell that's a peaceful street, you know. Quiet, calm. Relatively little to no crime at any point in time. $1970, it says there. Yeah. Just a nice, peaceful place back then. Well, I think the image I want to leave it on is that. Oh my God, this was absolute chaos. Well, first of all, I was right about what the title meant. And I was right about what was going to happen once he got that bird in the cab. But, you know, first they hack into a bloody Vickers VT10 coming into land on final approach on the radio, and then they crash the bus under a bridge. I mean, you know, in real life, I'm not 100% sure if that bus doing that would cause that kind of bridge to collapse, because it looks like a what is it bridge? Is that what you call a girder bridge, where it's got like the things going across? And that's metal, isn't it? I'm not an expert in bridges. I'm just saying, find it hard to believe. You know, I mean, that thing has to put up with hundreds of trains going across it every day at a certain speed. All that weight and friction and force on it. Find it hard to believe that a bus wedging itself wedging itself underneath it at 30 miles an hour would cause it to collapse. But anyway, but you never know, you know, weirder things have happened. But that was hilarious. Butler's no, not Butler. The inspector's face when he could see, you know, he saw the bridge coming. It was one of them looks, wasn't it? Like a deer in the headlights, life flashing before his eyes, sort of look. Oh dear, yeah. It was a brilliant episode. It always is, though. You know, I do love this so much. I know it's not that regular on the schedule, but it's not because I don't want to do it. It's quite the opposite, in fact. But I just don't want to rush through it because it's so funny. And yeah, just the wit. This episode had everything. In fact, you know, we had a scene back at the family house around the dinner table with Arthur and Olive, and Arthur ripping the piss out of her. We had the inspector being his miserable old self. We had a disaster with the bus crashing. A bit of aviation. Any aviation in any shape or form thrown into an episode of something I'm reacting to makes my day. Yeah, this had everything. This was jam-packed. Brilliant episode. Loved it. And I honestly can't wait for the next one. So, there we go. That's On the Buses, Series 3, Episode 8, Radio Control. And, yep, it was just fantastic. So, I hope you've all enjoyed it. And as I say, apologies to everybody who's been waiting for this show. I am a busy man, though, you know. I've got a lot of other shows going on. And I've just... And obviously, there's a new series that I've started recently. Not a new TV series, but with Mikey from MJB Reactions. We've, you know, a couple of weeks ago, we started a series swap reactions series where we react to each other's reactions on Patreon. And, you know, I've been throwing them out as fast as I can. Because I'm just enjoying doing them so much, you know. It's so much fun doing that series at the moment that I've been doing it every chance I've got. As soon as he uploads something, I'm trying to react to it. So that's taken over the schedule a little bit. But yeah, you know, I understand that this kind of content comes first because all you guys are waiting for this. So there you go. That's episode 8, Radio Control. Great episode. And I can't wait for the next one. So thanks everybody for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, then like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the links in the About section of the channel. You'll find a few things there. You'll find the Rumble channel, which is where you can get content that was either intended for YouTube and started on YouTube and was uploaded to YouTube with no problems, but then down the line got copyright blocked. So that includes Limmy's show and Not Going Out. It was the same for both of them. Limmy's show was fine on YouTube, and then all of a sudden, blocked. Not Going Out, fine on YouTube, then all of a sudden, strangely, not long after the latest new series was announced by the BBC, blocked. So, Not Going Out is now being uploaded onto Rumble from the point where the last episode was uploaded onto YouTube, and Limmy's show is available on Rumble in full, so you can get every episode of that on there too. I've also got a Twitch channel. I do gaming streams sometimes, and as we move into summer, I will be doing more of them. So there's that, and obviously the Patreon, which is the main thing. You know, honestly, the best place to be to make sure you get every bit of content that you could possibly hope for. Patreon is the place to go. So yeah, that's where you want to be to make sure you don't miss out on any content at all. And if you're in one of the top 3 tiers, then you can request things as well. So, you know, you're not just getting everything on the Patreon in those tiers, but you've also got a degree of control over the content you get because you can actually choose things. And there will be a new voting poll tournament type thing coming up soon again. You know, the same sort of round-robin voting tournament that got us this show, Blackadder, and Keeping Up Appearances. It's going to be that same sort of thing. So, yeah, keep an eye out on the Patreon, so that's where that'll go. But I'll make it public, so people who aren't paying members of the Patreon can access it as well. So yeah, make sure that you follow the Patreon. You can do that for free. Follow the Patreon minimum. Then anything that I put on there publicly, you'll get that, and updates on new shows and things that are coming, I'll put on a public post on the Patreon. It's a good way to update people, as well as the community tab on YouTube, obviously. And make sure you go over to Mikey's channel on YouTube as well and subscribe to him and watch his content. He's doing Bottom, Chewing the Fat, Still Game, and The In-Betweeners at the moment. You can get all those shows that have got copyright, text and background music on YouTube. That's Bottom, In-Betweeners. On Patreon, you can get those on his Patreon without that. And he's got a tier starting from $1 a month as well. So, yeah, support him as well if you can afford to support both of us. But if not, he'll understand. He'll be happy with you just subscribing to his YouTube channel, because he hit 1,000 subscribers a couple of days ago, which is fantastic. Right, so that's it. I'm done. So thanks for everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a great week, and I hope that you've got a great, even greater weekend ahead. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with some more content for you. I don't know what. I'll have a think about that, but we'll see, won't we? It'll be a surprise. But this was a brilliant episode. Loved it, and I can't wait for the next one. So until then, thank you for watching, and good night.